Hey everybody, so maybe you are a parent who sends your child to daycare, or you are a daycare provider, whether you are working for a company or maybe you even have a daycare in the comfort of your own home. And you want to learn some strategies to really help improve the children's attention and improve their regulation, which in turn can also improve their learning skills while at the daycare. So the first strategy is to make sure that you have an area in the daycare where you could have a quiet space or a calming corner. So this is just an area where when sometimes children get really upset or really wound up, they can go in this particular space to take a minute to calm down. And for those kids out there who have some sensory regulation or sensory processing issues, and they just need to get away from all the noise and the chaos that most likely is occurring at the daycare, then they can kind of use this space as a way to kind of get away from all of that and to reset themselves. So I definitely would recommend that you have an area like this at the daycare. And maybe in this area, you can include things like soft pillows or blankets or headphones that play like soft music, or maybe things that they can manipulate and squeeze and play with in their hands to also kind of help provide some calming feedback for them. The second strategy is to have access to weighted tools at your daycare. And by weighted tools, I mean things such as weighted blankets, weighted lap pads, or even like those neck pillows or stuffed animals that have some weight to them. And what this does, it provides additional feedback to our joints and muscles, which helps to produce regulation and calming effects on your child. So definitely have some of those available for your children at the daycare. Another strategy that you can include in your daycare setting is to have multi-sensory play or exploration. And by this, I mean having access to a variety of activities that speak to your child's senses. So activities that speak to their vision, to their smell, touch, taste, movement, to sounds, basically anything that really is going to help your child to explore and engage all of their senses. Which brings me to my next strategy, which is to include heavy work and movement at the daycare. So it's really hard for kids, especially if you have a daycare with very little ones, to expect them to just sit down and be still and be quiet and listen to you. So I would recommend that you definitely have movement breaks and movement opportunities throughout the day, and also to include some heavy work with those movement breaks. So maybe having the child to carry something or pull something or push something heavy across the floor to really work those muscles and joints. And by that, they are getting more feedback, which also helps with that attention and regulation piece. You can also have them manipulating heavier things like Play-Doh or putty, or pulling and stretching things. So anything that involves movement. Because if you think about it, as an adult, we also need movement to kind of get our brains going and kind of give us some more energy and kind of also help us feel regulated and more relaxed. And the same thing goes for kids. Now, this next strategy is one of my favorite strategies because it's something that I don't often see at a lot of daycares that I necessarily attend, but that doesn't mean that it's not happening. And for those daycares who are implementing these things, I applaud you because these are great. And those strategies are including things such as child yoga, breathing, and meditation. So teaching those skills at such an early age is such a great thing. It really helps to set the stage for learning those regulation skills that a child needs throughout their life, including as an adult. And when you start at a younger age, it becomes more of a habit than something that you just have to practice over and over and over and over to instill it in you. So starting young and teaching these kids how to do child yoga, or teaching them breathing exercises, or teaching them meditation skills is gonna set them off for a great life, because they're gonna learn some tools to help them cope when they're upset or when they're angry, and to kind of help decrease some of that stress and anxiety that actually does occur in childhood as well. So like I said, if you are implementing those things, then great for you. So in the comments below, let me know what strategies have worked for you and your little ones at the daycare setting. So if you're a parent and you send your child to daycare, what works great for them? Or if you're a daycare owner or provider, let me know what some strategies are that you have implemented to help the children at your daycare to improve with their attention, their calming skills, regulation, and their learning skills. And while watching this, if there was a kid or two that popped up in your mind during this video and you were thinking like, man, These strategies would really work for this kid because this kid is always on the go, they're always seeking movement, they're always touching things, or they're really loud. This child may be what is called a sensory seeker. And so if you want to learn more information about what a sensory seeker is and what are some tips to really help those particular children, I will link those videos in the description below. All right, guys, till next time, bye.